There's a reason some men spend their entire lives longing for just one woman. Not because she was perfect, not because she never hurt them, but because her presence left an imprint on their soul, something they could never quite escape. The Stoics taught us that true strength is not about avoiding pain, but about facing it with clarity and discipline. And in the same way, love is not about possession. It is about transformation. A single woman can awaken something in a man that changes him forever, whether he stays with her or loses her. In today's video, I'm going to reveal why men carry the memory of one woman for a lifetime, and why, from a Stoic perspective, this longing is not weakness, but a call to inner growth. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your heart clings to her image, and how you can use this longing not to stay stuck in the past, but to reclaim your strength in the present. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below sharing your experience. Because chances are you too have that one woman whose memory never fully leaves you. Number 1. The imprint of the first connection. Every man remembers the first woman who reached past his defenses. Not the first kiss, not the first date, but the first time he felt truly seen. It doesn't matter if it happened in his teenage years or well into adulthood. What stays is not her face, but the feeling she awakened in him. That moment when her presence broke through his armor and reminded him that beneath his strength, he was still capable of being moved, shaken, undone. The Stoics would say that such an encounter is a test of our nature. Epictetus taught that people do not disturb us by what they do, but by the impressions they leave upon our mind. This is why the memory of a woman can stay long after she's gone, because the mark she leaves is not on your body, but on your soul. And here's the paradox. Even if the relationship ended in silence, betrayal, or distance, the mind keeps returning to her. Why? Because the first true connection is not easily replaced. It becomes a measure by which all other loves are compared. This is why men spend decades chasing not just women, but that same feeling, that sense of being recognized, chosen, and stirred to life. It's not weakness. It's not obsession. It is the natural weight of the human heart. And unless we learn how to face it with discipline, it can chain us to the past. Number 2, why memory becomes a prison. A man does not only love a woman, he loves the story he created around her. He clings not only to her presence, but to the meaning his soul attached to that presence. Carl Jung once wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." And this is the danger. Once transformed, a man cannot easily return to who he was before. The memory of her becomes a ghost he feeds unconsciously. He replays conversations in his mind. He wonders what could have been if he had said the right words, made the right choices, or held on a little longer. But the Stoics remind us that this is an illusion. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The truth is, she is no longer here. What remains is not her, but your attachment to the image of her. This is how memory becomes a prison. It keeps you bound not to reality, but to fantasy. It convinces you that happiness is locked behind a door that is already closed. And so men grow older, chasing women who resemble her, hoping to resurrect what is already gone. But the tragedy is this. They are not chasing women. They are chasing themselves, the younger, more vulnerable self who once felt alive in her presence. Until a man understands this, he will always mistake longing for love and memory for destiny. Number 3, the woman as archetype, not just person. When a man loves a woman with an intensity that never fades, it is rarely about her alone. It is about the archetype she awakened within him. Carl Jung called this the anima, the inner feminine that lives inside every man. She represents emotion, intuition, vulnerability, and the bridge to his unconscious. When a woman in the external world mirrors his anima, something extraordinary happens. He does not just see her, he sees himself reflected through her. This is why certain women are unforgettable. They unlock hidden chambers of a man's psyche. They give form to something he has longed for, but never had words to express. She becomes a mirror of his soul, not just a companion in his life. But here lies the danger. The man confuses the symbol with the person. He mistakes the archetype she embodies for her actual self. And when she leaves, he does not merely lose her, he loses access to that inner world she once revealed to him. The Stoics would warn him here. Never give to another person what must be found within yourself. Epictetus wrote, when someone is properly grounded in life, they will not be looked outside themselves for approval or security. In other words, the woman may awaken the anima, but it is the man's task to integrate her, to claim her energy as his own, rather than worship it in someone else. If he fails to do this, he will spend years haunted, believing that only she can give him back what he lost. But what he truly longs for is not her. It is the unclaimed depth of his own soul. Number 4, the wound that shapes a lifetime. Every man carries wounds. Some are visible, scars on the body. Others are invisible, scars on the heart. When a man meets a woman who awakens a soul, she often touches that deepest hidden wound. Perhaps it is the ache of abandonment, the shame of not being enough, or the silent hunger for unconditional love that he never received in childhood. Jung once wrote, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. That transformation is not always gentle. Sometimes it feels like an earthquake tearing open the ground beneath him. The woman who becomes unforgettable is often the one who brushed against that wound, not by intention, but by presence. She made him feel seen in places he thought would remain forever hidden. For a fleeting moment, he believed the wound was healed. But when she is gone, the wound does not vanish, it deepens. The man now carries not only his original pain, but also the memory of its temporary relief. This is why he longs, not just for her body or her smile, but for the way she made his wound feel alive, almost whole. Here, Stoicism offers its sharp medicine. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The wound cannot be fully healed by another. It is the man's task, through courage and reflection, to face his pain, to integrate it, and to rise above it. Otherwise, he becomes a prisoner of memory, chained to a ghost, haunted by a woman who exists now only in the shadows of his longing. Number 5, the myth of the one woman. Across history, poets, philosophers, and storytellers have all carried the same haunting theme. The one woman who cannot be forgotten. She becomes immortalized in a man's psyche, not because she is truly divine, but because she awakens the divine in him. Jung would argue that such a woman often carries projection of the anima, the inner feminine image within every man's unconscious. When a man meets her, he does not just see her. He sees his own soul reflected through her presence. That is why she feels larger than life. That is why she feels irreplaceable. But here lies the trap. He begins to believe she is the only one, the missing piece of his existence. He convinces himself, if I could have her back, I would be whole. If she had stayed, my life would be different. No other woman can make me feel this way. This is an illusion, powerful, intoxicating, and deeply destructive. Stoicism will remind us that no external person can complete what is incomplete within ourselves. Epictetus warned, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In the same way, it is not her that holds a key. It is the meaning you have attached to her. The myth of the one woman is seductive because it absolves the man of responsibility. It allows him to blame fate, timing, or loss instead of facing the truth. The qualities he longed for in her are already seeds within himself, waiting to be cultivated. To break free, he must learn to separate the woman from the projection, the memory from the myth. Only then can he see her not as a goddess, but as a mirror that showed him what he was capable of feeling, but not who he was destined to be chained to. Because the truth is this, the one woman was never the only one. She was the one who woke him up. An awakening once given cannot be taken away unless he himself refuses to carry it forward. Number 6, the Stoic strength of letting go. There's a paradox in love that few are willing to face. The more you try to hold on, the faster it slips away. Men spend years, sometimes decades, longing for one woman, chasing the memory of how she made them feel, clinging to the ghost of what once was. But Stoic wisdom teaches us something radical. That love, like every gift of life, is not yours to possess. It is only yours to experience, to honor, and, when the time comes, to release. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This means love fully while it is here, but do not destroy yourself when it departs. To chain yourself to the past is to make yourself a prisoner of your own longing. The woman you hold in your memory was never meant to be owned. She was meant to awaken something inside of you, a deeper strength, a deeper clarity, a deeper sense of what it means to live with heart and discipline. And here lies the truth most men avoid. It was never about her. It was about who you became in the presence of love. When you stop grasping, when you release the illusion of control, you discover freedom so profound that longing transforms into gratitude. This is the Stoic's way, not to kill desire, but to master it, not to numb the heart, but to guide it with wisdom. So the question is no longer, why do I still long for her? But rather, what is this longing teaching me about myself? Because once you understand this, you are no longer a man haunted by love. You are a man transformed by it. In the end, the truth is simple, but not easy. A man may long for one woman his entire life, not because she was the only one worthy of love, but because she revealed to him something no one else could, the raw, unfiltered mirror of his soul. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That transformation is what you are truly chasing. Not her smile, not her touch, not her presence, but the man you became in her light. And here lies the final wisdom. To honor her does not mean to hold on. To honor her means to carry forward the lesson, the strength, the tenderness, the clarity, into every choice, every challenge, every relationship ahead. The Stoics remind us, nothing external belongs to us. Everything is borrowed. Everything is passing. And the only true possession you have is your character, the man you decide to be when life takes away what you thought you could never lose. So, if you long for her, let that longing become your teacher. Let it sharpen your soul rather than chain it. Let it burn away illusion and leave only truth. Because a man who clings to the past remains a prisoner. But a man who transforms longing into wisdom becomes free. And freedom, my friend, is the deepest form of love you can ever know.